Town of Smyrna Council meeting, 7 o'clock, December 1st, 2025 is about to convene.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence, and let's please remember our two National Guard members who were attacked over the weekend. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Roll call, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Councilman Drew Jr.,
Here.
Mayor Gott,
Here.
Councilman Johnson,
Here.
Councilman Miles.
He will be right back.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Olson,
Here.
Councilman Pope,
Here.
and Vice Mayor Dr. Upshur.
Present.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any additions or deletions to the public agenda before you? If there are none, can we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Motion has been moved and carried.
Item 6, consent agenda. Council meeting minutes from November 17th, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from November 17th?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion is carried.
Item 7, non-agenda items, starting with mayor and council members. Madam Mayor?
Hey, I'll make this relatively quick. Vice Mayor, Councilman Miles and I were away. I'll let Vice Mayor give the little synopsis for us. What a beneficial trip. We went to New Orleans for the Women's National Foundation Women Legislators. It was amazing. And that is a trip that we get a scholarship for, so it doesn't really cost us anything. We get reimbursed for it, or we should, and if we don't, then we will. And then we went to Utah, which was absolutely one of the most gorgeous places I've ever seen, and had municipal meetings with other communities across the United States. And that was really dynamic. We took a lot, I brought a lot back from that. As for activities that are coming up, the written calendar that's going out on the tidbits, it has everything on there. December 7th at 11 a.m. is the Pearl Harbor Memorial ceremony at Lake Como at 11 o'clock. They have breakfast with Santa Claus in Clayton at 8 that kicks off their festivities in Clayton. There is a parade at 5 o'clock in Clayton. I'll have a float. If anyone would like to ride on it, please let me know. And then we are going to leave the parade and go over to the diner. The diner is doing their Santa Claus Create a Card event for our first responders so that we can build the number of cards that we have to give to our police, fire, ambulance, and EMTs on December 14th. And then December 14th, let me back up. December 7th, they are also having a Christmas tree lighting at 6 o'clock in Clayton, and they're selling ornaments that can be in honor of or in memory of someone to help raise money for the 4th of July committee. December 14th, we are going to do caroling on the square here. And I'll touch on it, but I'm sure it's in part of what Corrine has in her report. While we were in Utah, we had the opportunity to meet with the Just Serve founders for the program that we embraced a few months ago, and telling them about the food drive that we want to do on the 14th. They have offered to donate almost 1,000 pounds of food to us for it, so that we can take it from here right over to Asbury Church So that was really an aha. And then on the 14th, we'll have a DJ and caroling that's sort of karaoke style, so everybody knows the words. That's the one that we started last year for the first time without a tsunami. And we had everything from Joy to the World, the Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog version, to Silent Night. On December 21st, we're going to join with the Ministerium and do Christmas caroling in front of the First Presbyterian Church. On that list, there are many, many, many other events. Carroll Hall is having a vendor event on the 14th as well. So if you haven't gotten a copy of the list and you'd like one, please let me know. I'll add your name to the list to make sure you get it. But otherwise, it was on the tidbits. Dr. Upshur.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I had the privilege of attending two important conferences that truly highlighted the power of collaboration and community. The first was the National Federation of Women Legislators Conference, where I was honored to share space with incredible women elected officials from across the country. Together, we discussed what is working in our communities and where we can improve. I quickly realized that many of the challenges we face are not unique to just here in Smyrna, and that the possibilities we strive for are strengthened when we stand together. During this conference, I was humbled to receive a Women of Excellence Award referred by our mayor, the Honorable Tabitha Gott. This award is given to a woman in elected office who demonstrates leadership and commitment to her community. And I accept it not just for myself, but on behalf of all of us here in Smyrna. Thank you.
Learned
Congratulations.
it.
I also attended the National League of Cities Conference in Salt Lake City, Utah. I can still imagine the fresh air I was breathing in and out, where I was proud to witness our Delaware delegates stand firmly for what they believed was best for our state. One lesson I continue to carry with me is that in politics, there is no room for personal feelings. Only the responsibility to advocate for what is best for our neighbors as a whole. Between sessions, I had the opportunity to engage in courageous conversations with elected officials from across the country. I'm going to have to say that was very pivotal for us to be able to sit in between our sessions and just have these conversations, casual conversations with people, elected officials from across the country, and know that we all share very much some of the similar issues. 14,000 people to 200,000 to 500,000 people. We still have the same issues and some of the pluses as well. So again, only the responsibility to advocate for what is best for our neighbors as a whole. Between sessions, again, I had the opportunity to have the courageous conversations with elected officials from across the country. We share both the successes and the struggles which we face, and I was able to highlight the positive work happening right here in Smyrna. At the heart of these discussions was a theme our mayor holds dear: unity in the community. And for me, it was the relevance of proximity and promoting change. The closer we are to one another, the stronger our bonds and the greater the impact we can make together. The Smyrna community thrives when we stand side by side, and I'm committed to continue this work with all of you. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Councilman Pope?
Oh, thank you. Tomorrow I will be attending, along with some of my colleagues, the DMAC annual update meeting, which is here. And I know that you guys were not here for the last meeting. I wanted to personally give you kudos for your work on the veterans program. The sense of building community is important. So when we have some of these events, it's not just merely getting together and just kind of commiserating with people. I was actually at a table with a Vietnam War veteran who was not aware nor applied for his benefits. And thankfully, one of our keynote speakers actually partnered with him and is working with him to make sure that he gets what's entitled to him. This is why we have these events. It's the building of the sense of community. So I encourage you all to please get out when you can to some of these events. This Sunday is the Clayton Christmas Parade, which the fire company band will be taking part in as well. And so I just want to thank you all for the work that you've done, and thank you all. And thank you to Tori, to you and the staff for everything that you do every day. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Councilman Olson?
Well, I just want to say that I'm going to have to vote against the proposed budget because we need to not be finding new ways to spend money, but find ways to save money so that we can reduce our taxes and also reduce our utility rates.
Councilman Johnson?
Just want to thank the town employees, especially the yard waste guys and the guy running the leaf truck, because they've been doing a great job keeping Smyrna cleaned up, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Drew?
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. First off, happy holidays. Hope you're enjoying your family and friends. It's a perfect time for it. I did talk to Mike Pearson about December 17th. Please come on out to Parks and Recs meeting. It is open to the public. And Parks and Recs is the future because we have kids that need to be safe in this town and community. Also talk to business owners, just listening to them with their comments and concerns each and every day. So it's awesome. But other than that, unity in the community, we have to stay together as one so we can build for the future.
Councilman Miles?
It was good to attend. We went to the NLC meeting, the National League of Cities. I got to learn, as a first-time councilman, I got to learn a lot about what they're doing as far as like kind of representing us in Washington, D.C. is pushing federal legislators and whatnot that can help benefit little old Smyrna. So that was great. And then obviously participating in the Just Serve ceremony that they did. To see other cities kind of acknowledge for all the work that they're doing locally, having a lot of volunteers from their communities, even high school students being volunteering. It's something that we can certainly replicate in our small town and be recognized nationally. I mean, I think there are already things that we already are doing when our linemen are going to Navajo nations and electricity there. But other than that, it was a very good conference. There's a lot of information that we as council members can gain from attending and learning that information. Other than that, I want to thank the rest of staff. And I also want to just kind of remind a lot of our council members here is we had an opportunity to attend any of the finance meetings. It was very clear in those finance meetings of what was being presented, what the increases were going to be, realizing that taxes were not going to go up at all this year in any way, shape, or form. And that was very relevant from the first finance meeting. I want to thank the mayor for allowing me to sit on that committee so that way I can understand, to have some better transparency. And the town manager and our finance director, I think is the position, all the hard work you guys did to show the difference between previous administrations and now is absolutely fantastic. So town manager and our finance person, thank you guys so much for all the hard work that you guys did.
Chief?
All right, you guys have my monthly report. The only other thing I wanted to touch on is Brent Raleigh will be recognized as the Crime Stoppers Law Enforcement Officer of the Year next week.
Will we get details on that?
It'll be at a luncheon that no one can attend. Well, perhaps I can have you guys there. We can talk after the meeting.
Okay.
If you guys want to go, we can talk about that, but you get presented with that award from Crime Stoppers. We nominated him. He didn't know. I just
That's great.
Today he was very surprised.
Kudos to him. That's awesome.
Kudos to him.
Town manager?
So we've had a few things over the past month or so that have been happening. One of the biggest things that we've been doing is we've been dealing with a building that's had some issues over time. So we did recently replace the roof, which should fix some of the leaking problems. So we've been working hard to make sure that we keep things updated. We also have the house in the back, which we are kind of getting updated, replacing, because we have a lot of staff that enjoy outside, so we're replacing the deck on it just to make sure that it's safe for them. A lot of lunches are spent on the gazebo, so just kind of trying to stay up on maintenance on the buildings. So you'll see some things in there. I want to say thank you to Kathleen. She has done such an amazing job for the budget process, and we've been working pretty hard since June on this. So I can't say it enough to any of the staff to say thank you. Just like Jake is here, Jake has been working pretty tirelessly and been getting lots of phone calls from me at the hours in the morning over issues that have been going on. And he and him and the staff are jumping on it. Same thing with Jeremy. Jeremy has been absolutely amazing. He's very informative. He has absolutely been a huge help, and we're going to see some things coming up that him and Ivy just worked on pretty hard. And I think it's going to be very informative for all of council and even the public to hear some of the things that we have going on in the town, and it'll also help you guys become a little more educated when some of the complaints that we hear coming in. So again, he's been working really hard with that. And the same thing with Walt. Walt's got some good things coming up, and we're excited to see some of those things coming to final fruition. So we should see some of the things that I've been talking about for almost a year actually come. So January's a new year for us, and we have a lot of stuff going. Wanda, who is upstairs, we've been working tirelessly to make sure that we get these positions filled. So we've been constantly going through the hiring process and stuff. Everybody can start to see we have changed out the Christmas ornaments and Christmas decorations throughout town. So you'll see them up and down Main Street. We're working on some things for Town Hall to make sure that it is nice and bright for you when you have your event. That's here. And then also within. We're still working pretty diligently to make sure that we have these SOPs up to date. I've met with HR. Again, a lot of things are rolling out January 1. Staff is kind of ready and prepared to make sure that these things happen. So we've been working hard, but again, I can't do it without them. And I just want to always make sure that I say thank you to each one of them, because without them, I don't know what I would do.
Thank you. And I want to say an extra special thank you, because I know that sometimes I'm the reason for those early morning phone calls. And thank you, because the community sees it and they know it and they appreciate it, and they give the feedback as fast as they call to tell us that there are opportunities for improvement. They also call and say thank you. So that's a really big deal. And I'm very excited with what January brings, and with SOPs and with measurable goals. I'll leave it alone now. Okay, thank you. And with that, guess we go to old business.
All right. So being as though we do not have old business, we will jump down to item 9, new business, including discussion and possible action on the following items. Item A, fiscal year 2026 budget presentation.
And Finance Chairman, you have your recommendation, please?
My name is Jim Walls, and I'm the chairman of the town's finance committee. And I wanted to give you a very brief report. The finance committee we did have the opportunity to meet with the town staff on 3 separate occasions to go over details associated with the town's finances. We did review the FY25 budget performance. I can tell you from taking a look at the details of how the finances are being managed currently and over the past year, I think it's exceptional financial goals that they've established, and the performance that they're doing will really improve the overall financial future of this town. So it's very reassuring to do that. Did have the opportunity, we reviewed in detail the proposed operating budget and the capital budget. I'm not going to go into all the details here, but I can tell you that we are very comfortable. And what I have to do is I have to commend Kathleen Acevedo for the details and the inquiries that she responded to. I know we probably kept her very busy providing us with clear information, and she came forward with it. And I can tell you, it's such a blessing to have Kathleen as part of our team to handle the finances here. On November 13th, our last finance committee meeting, those in attendance, we voted unanimously to make the recommendation to town council to adopt the proposed fiscal year operating budget and capital budget. And that is the recommendation that came out of the committee. I really appreciate the opportunity to have served on this committee. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Before before you leave that spot, Mr. Walls, could you also share a little bit about your resume and what makes you a great fit being the chairperson for the finance committee for me, please? Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, I guess, the rest of my career, first of all, I do have an MBA degree from Westchester University.
All right. Yes, go Rams.
For 30 years, I worked at the railroad, Amtrak for just about all those years. Started at the bottom, throwing switches. I was a qualified locomotive engineer on Amtrak's Northeast Corridor. Worked my way up in lots of different positions. Eventually, I was responsible for Amtrak's nationwide 24/7 rail operations, nationwide, having everything that came down through the affected the railroad operations nationwide. Was responsible for Amtrak's nationwide locomotive distribution and utilization. I was responsible for all of the passenger cars that Amtrak had for the Northeast Corridor for many years. So that was my railroad side. I left the railroad. I went from railroad to airplanes, boats, highways, bridges, and I became the Chief Operations Officer at the Delaware River and Bay Authority. I did that for 12 years. Responsible for all of their operations. Their police department reported to me. Engineering, maintenance, Delaware Memorial Bridge, 5 airports, and Cape May Lewis Ferry. Handled that for 12 years. Just to make it short, part of my resume, got a lot of other things on it. I've done lots of things. I've worked for the Library of Congress. I've done some special activities for them. I like to make myself available to organizations to share my expertise with them and be a resource to them. I really appreciate the opportunity that you gave me to be part of this finance committee and part of this wonderful effort. Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate your
serving.
time.
Thanks.
Discussion?
Well, I just want to say, you say that there'll be no tax increase, and that's per se correct. But there's going to be a substantial upcharge on people's utilities bills with this budget.
Do you want to address that?
It was 1% increase.
Just a quick question regarding that. So with the electricity, we understand that that's something that we have to pay. We don't set the price on. Is that correct?
No, so it is set by DBEC. We're a third party. They're the wholesaler. We're kind of the middle person that sells that. So they set those rates. There's also the PPCAC, which is what that is it's a fee that's there that is kind of like a floating fee, right? It covers when those increases go up or they go down, right? The PPCAC is there, so you're not going to see an increase. So if who they bring their electric in from says, hey, your rates are going to be up to here, that PPCAC is there to cover that. So it covers that. We are proposing a decrease in the PPCAC, right? So it is, as much as there is an increase that's there, there's also a decrease that's showing within there. So there's unfortunately always going to be an increase. A lot of it is passed through that we don't have a whole lot of control over. And it's just like the sewer increase. The county called us and said, your sewer's going up, and that's the cost of doing business. And it's either we pay it and the consumer absorbs it, or we pay it and we're gonna have to raise taxes because unfortunately we don't control, they do. So there are some things that are kind of uncontrollable, but what people need to understand is that we are a business and we do need to continue to operate. With that, we have a few different options for revenue that comes in. One of the biggest revenues that we have are taxes. But electric, water, and sewer does bring a revenue into the town. That is how we operate. That is how we use day to day. That is how we pay the salaries. That is how we pay all the benefits to anybody that lives in this town. So unfortunately, just like everything else goes up, we do have to make increases. That was the easiest increase that we could sustain without going back to the public and asking for a tax increase. So.
It's clear that, it's very obvious, and not only across our state, but across the nation, that prices increase significantly all over. So undoubtedly, it's going to happen ultimately. So I think we should, anyway.
Let me also say this, and I'm gonna put this out there. We get a monthly report statewide.
Yeah.
For electric services. Smyrna is actually in the middle and stays consistently in the middle for the electric rates. I know it is a misconception that our electric rates are very high within this town. That is actually a misconception. We are not the highest, even close to being the highest. What people forget is when they pay their bill, they're also paying for water, sewer, electric, and your trash services, which again, our trash services within the town are less than what you get if you live outside of town.
Very true.
So, taking all of that into consideration and what you honestly get, if you live outside of town limits, you get a trash can. Here you get trash cans, plus you get recycling, and you get pickup, which cost us about 1.2 million or something like that. I can't remember what the number is, but it's some astronomical amount of money that you get for bulk trash pickup that we sustain. So those are all benefits that you have for living within the town limits of the town of Smyrna. That is every employee that's going to come, that's in my trash department, that's going to go, that's the truck maintenance. There's all of those things that continue to go up because when the truck goes down, I got to buy new parts. So you have a lot more perks that are in town limits than you do when you're outside of town limits. So take all those things into consideration when you're thinking about this.
Well, the budget has gone up $2 million out of the utility bills, and that's after all the expenses are taken out.
You're right. And what I can tell you is if you look at the report that you have, for the first time since I've come in here, we are sitting in a position where we actually are not worried about paying our bills. And that's something that I can say I'm proud of, that I've managed to take care of. And what I can tell you is we are able to invest money now. We were able to put this town in a much better fiscal place than we were prior to that. So it's going to come. And I hate to say it, but unfortunately, the price of doing business is going up, and it's going up for each and every one of us. You can't have staff without having some type of increases. You can't have electric without having some type of increases. A lot of the things that we have, and like I just explained, we don't control them.
I'm just curious, Councilman. I hear that you have quite a few questions, and I know that you ran your campaign on rolling back the taxes, but we never had the opportunity on hearing how exactly you planned on rolling back the taxes, especially when it takes.
Oh, like I just said earlier, I said, stop finding ways to spend more money and save some money so we can roll back the taxes. And we could roll back the taxes also just off the investment accounts that the town has.
But you do understand what our town manager is saying is that we are in the best situation that we have been in quite some time.
But the taxpayers aren't necessarily in the best situation they've been in.
We are all taxpayers here.
Yep, well, we need to pay attention to the taxpayers, yeah.
Well, I think that definitely we have been paying attention, and that when you run a campaign based on things that are actually not true, then we need to do a little bit more research when we run for our office.
Any further discussion? Questions? Do we have a motion to approve the fiscal year 2026 budget?
Make a motion to approve the fiscal year budget.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Barrett, should we do this as an individual vote?
You could do a roll call vote if you
Can
want.
we do a roll call vote, please?
Roll call vote. All right. Councilman Miles.
Yes.
Councilman Drew.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dr. Upson.
Yes.
Mayor Gott.
Yes.
Okay. Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Olson.
No.
I vote yes.
Motion has been made and passed that we accept the 2026 budget.
Item B, adoption of the 2026 fee schedule. Discussion. Have any? Yeah.
Yep. This is the Kathleen show today.
Sorry, Kathleen.
I'm Kathleen Acevedo, the finance director. This is the fee schedule. I believe I sent you all a copy digitally.
Yes.
It's all the fees throughout the whole town are added into this now. They're not spread out everywhere. And I did go over all of the increases during the previous meeting.
Yes, you did.
Any questions or discussion? Do we have a motion to adopt the 2026 fee schedule?
I make a motion that we adopt the 2026 fee schedule.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion is carried to adopt the 2026 fee schedule.
Thank you, Kathleen. Item C, amendment to the 2024 adopted capital reserve contribution.
So I'll take that one. Each one of you should have gotten an update. So this is in reference to ordinance 013-24, where it requires us to transfer the minimum contribution of $1.9 million into the capital reserve. What we're requesting is that we reduce the mandated minimum actual contribution from the 1.9 to 500,000. Require the additional contribution amount to be determined. So basically what we want to do is at the end of the year, if there's a surplus, we want to bring it back to council. Council then determines the approved amount that will then go back into the capital reserve. Because it could be more than the 1.9, right? It really depends on where it is. We're hoping to have some opportunities to offset some of the cost with the 24 and 23 end of year. Because we do have some kind of capital projects that have come up, which have a pretty hefty note to them. So we're hoping that we can still put money into the capital reserve, but yet offset some of those costs, which we're talking millions of dollars to replace some of that stuff. So we would bring it back to council at the end of the year and upon completion of the annual audit. And then council then makes the determination of what it is and what we put into it. But we're saying we're minimum going to put at least 5. I just think that that's a sustainable amount. And I think that we're going to, what you'll see is if you look at the numbers, you'll see that we've actually been able to start putting money into that capital reserve as it is. And we should see it be updated.
Will we use that end of October number to make that projection for year end?
So we're really at the mercy of the auditors.
Okay.
Right. So when the auditors come back with it, and again, remember, we've been so far behind with our audits that we're just getting caught up. So we anticipate that we're going to see 25 should be started by February. So they're in the middle of 24. I gave them a drop dead date of February to be done. So we're anticipating starting in March for 25, which puts us right about where we should be, which we hope to see somewhere around a June or July finish for that. So we will finally be caught up in where we need to be for audits.
So it sounds like this gives us not only a little flexibility, but also keeps us away from having to borrow money for different things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're, like I said, we have a project, infrastructure project that just came up that we need to, I think it's 1.5 million. We could see a surplus of close to 3 million. So we're hoping that we can offset that and then still put money into the capital reserve. So we just want to reduce the mandatory amount up front. Not saying that we don't want to contribute. We understand that the importance of making sure that we invest that money and put it back up. But it's just, it's kind of a burden up front to pay that and not pay it until the end.
And the end of the year, meaning the end of the calendar year?
The end of the budget, yes, right. So, I mean, it might not be the full calendar year, but it's when the audit is complete that we will then come back to council and say, hey, there's X amount of dollars that is left. We have a project that potentially is going to cost this, which leaves us this, right, to put into the capital reserve. But like I said, you all, if you look in my report, you will see what the bank accounts look like right now.
Yes.
And you can see at the bottom is the Edward Jones investment accounts, which just has a capital reserve, which have just been put in a month ago, less than a month ago, and we're already seeing gains in it. So.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Manager James.
Can we have a motion to approve the amendment to the 2024 adopted capital reserve contribution?
So moved. Are we going to do a roll count?
We could. Bear, is that okay?
It's up to you guys.
All right, well, that's what we'll do. Starting with Councilman Do we have a second? Sorry, do we have a second?
Second,
Okay, Councilman Miles, how do you vote?
yes.
Councilman Drew,
Yes.
Councilwoman Dr. Upshaw,
Yes.
Councilman Olson,
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
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 It's been moved that we amend the 2024 adopted capital reserve contribution and seconded. Motion is carried.
Item D, amendment to the water tower project.
So, yeah, and I'll preface this. Jake will kind of give you some more details. We just were notified by DelDOT that, the curbs that were put in and the sidewalk that was put in, there's been some damage to them. We're not really sure what the, culprit was. What we're anticipating and what we think is it's from salt. And it ate through the concrete. DelDOT failed us. And so there's been some conversations back and forth. Garrett was involved, Jake. And it just basically comes back to it falls on us to make sure that we do this because this was a capital project that was funded through ARPA funds and a few other things. Right. It's just more of an update and an amendment that we need to do. It is being covered through operational. Right. So we're not asking for additional money. We have the money to cover the cost, but Jake will give you probably a little more detailed information on it.
He explained it pretty well. So basically there's a 10-foot wide sidewalk in front of the new water tower that we built. The contractor put it in towards the end of last year. Everything was good. At the end of the winter, DelDOT went to do their final inspection to accept it because it's in their right of way. They had to accept the work. There was some salt damage or what we assume is salt damage and DelDOT won't accept it until we replace it. Obviously we didn't budget to do it twice. So that's what we're kind of asking or explaining that we have to transfer some money to replace it.
When this work is done this time, is there any way, I know salt can be a killer on concrete. Is there any way that we can kind
Yeah,
of,
so the plan this time to hopefully avoid this happening again, it's in the DelDOT right away, so we have to do what they say. We have to use the concrete that they want us to use, but we're gonna attempt to get them to let us use some kind of sealer or a different concrete mix. So it's hopefully will hold up a little better.
okay.
And you said water tower, correct?
Yes.
Is that the one right by the Shell gas station?
Yeah,
Okay.
across from the rest area.
Okay.
Any further questions?
So where are you gonna transfer the money from?
There's some money in different areas of our operating budget that we're gonna transfer over.
All right. My question is, what happens if we don't do nothing till spring? Why are we going to put fresh concrete down and then Friday they come salt the road and do it again?
So realistically, it probably won't get done until closer to spring, just because they're not gonna get to it that fast with the weather. But yeah, you're right. We don't want to put concrete down and then get tore by the salt.
All right. That's what I'm saying. We needed to be able to be put down and cured before.
Because we want to put down and accept it before there's another issue. But and on the same note, DelDOT's not accepting it because it's not good concrete. We don't want to accept bad concrete either. So we want to make sure
But it was good concrete until the state put salt on it with their trucks.
Somebody potentially put salt on it. We can't guarantee.
the person.
Right, we don't know. We know that somebody potentially.
Somebody put salt on it. Either way, the concrete fell apart a lot faster than it was supposed to.
Okay.
And again, this is, one of the major reasons that we're doing this is because we do have the funding for this. Obviously, this was not a budgeted item, but we were able to fund it through what we have in different accounts for this year. So obviously, because it's a moving of money, we need to do a budget amendment to present it, but we're able to fund it through this year.
Thank you. That was a great question. Thank you for that, Councilman Johnson.
Any further questions?
Thank
Do
you.
we have a motion to the amendment to the water tower project? The amendment.
I make a motion to the amendment to the water tower project.
Second. Do we have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion is carried to amend the water tower project.
Item 10, presentation and public comments. Do we have anyone for public comment?
name is Vicky Blair. I went to the financial committee meetings. And I have been following the budget progression since they doubled the taxes in 2024. Which I discovered had to be done at that time because the previous years we had no tax increases for many years. Which put us in a position where we were behind the 8 ball. Over the course of the time that I've been following it, the town manager, finance department, in my opinion, has done a phenomenal job fixing all the mistakes that they found. To realistically think that any town is going to roll back their taxes is not realistic. The cost of living goes up. Many years, the town absorbed the increases of our electric instead of passing it on to the consumer. Okay? Costs go up, the money has to come from somewheres. So you either need to raise taxes or you need to pass through the cost to the consumer. Personally, pass me through the cost because I can control it. Don't raise my taxes. I think what the town is trying to do is in the best interest of the people in this community, whether there's council members up on that dais that believe it or not. And if you want to roll back the taxes, bring them how. Give them how you can cut costs. I'm sure they would listen to it. If you can't tell them what to get rid of or how to change it, shut up.
Any other public comment?
Move we adjourn.
I think we have a motion to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Meeting is adjourned at 7:40.